really should check it out. It's amazing.
One or two more questions.
I was gonna ask, what would you, if you could go back in time and give your younger self advice, like you just moved to New York, what would you say now that you're way more experienced?
Oh, that's such a good question. I would say to, what would I say to my younger self? I would say, it's all gonna be okay. The first thing I think of is like the gay thing, because when I moved to New York, I was 19 and I was in the closet and I was feeling really like anxious about that, and I did end up with my boyfriend of 3.5 years, but we were like in the closet together. And so it's the first place my mind goes to is like, it like you can be yourself, you don't have to worry about that, that's all gonna like play out as it will. But then it all did play out as it will, so it's like I don't know what I would say to do differently. But that's like the first thing we would do would be to try to relieve any like stress or worry about that. And that I think I was very career driven when I first moved to New York, which is part of the reason that I was successful. But I would encourage myself to enjoy every step of the way, even the like uncomfortable parts. I would never want to force myself to come out sooner than I wanted to, but I guess I would just say to myself, like, trust your gut. No one really cares in the end about anything. And the world, like I you know what I would say to myself is I would say, like, read the newspaper a little bit more. That would be the advice that I would give myself. To give myself like a sense of perspective of the world outside of my gayness or my career or moving to New York but I would say that would probably be the advice I would give myself, is just like read the newspaper, even for like 30 minutes every day. And it'll give you a sense of coming outside of yourself, which I think would have helped me relax a little bit more and given myself some perspective.
Thank you.
That's a good answer,
How did the role of Holden in Mindhunter come about? Because it seems so atypical of your personality.
Yeah, it is atypical.
I certainly hope so.
Yeah, it is. Through my agent at the time, who I've since fired, but through my agent at the time, I'd met David Fincher, the director, auditioning for The Social Network 7 years before. So it came to me through him and through his casting director, who I'd also met at that time before. And it was like 50 pages of material, of interviewing. It was weird for me because I don't like true crime naturally. I'm not watching Law & Order. I get scared easily. I don't see scary things. And so I was like, oh, okay. This is like an intense subject matter, but I love David. I love everything David Fincher's ever done, and I've seen all of his movies at least once or twice. And it was Netflix, so that seemed cool. And then when I read the scenes, I was like, oh, the scenes are actually like theater scenes. They're like these long 15-page scenes that are very psychological. And they had like a scene from the beginning where my character was naive, and then a scene at the end of the first season where I'm like mimicking the serial killers in order to get them to open up. And I thought, well, I find that really interesting, even if I'm not naturally connecting to just like true crime in general, and the opportunity to work with David, so that was like a no-brainer. So then I was doing Hamilton, I put myself on tape, I got a response immediately, like, here's more stuff, go on tape again. And then I flew to LA on a day off and met with him, and sort of a weird thing of that was that I was dressed as the king backstage learning the lines. And I would hide because a lot of the cast members would come and visit me in the dressing room throughout the course of the show. And I would hide the sides during that audition process because I felt like I didn't feel like an FBI agent at all as the king. I felt like, what have I done where they're gonna give me this opportunity? It felt like preparing for Melchior, honestly. The audition for Melchior of Spring Awakening felt so outside of myself and like such a huge opportunity, and one that I knew way deep down that I could do in my gut, but it was like nothing really would tell me that I could. I just had an instinctual feeling that I could do it. But I knew that if I was in the dressing room reading for an FBI agent and any of the cast members like laughed at me, that I was gonna lose confidence in my ability to do that at the audition and feel like I can do this. And so I really remember them coming in and be like, I'm not doing anything. No, I'm just sitting here on my phone. And then I got it. And then when I told them all that, they were like, what? They had the reaction that I anticipated they would have, but at that point I had gotten the director had approved me, so I didn't feel as anxious about doing it.